Hey everyone, Jason Schapper here of the M0A Online Ground School. In this video, I'm going to share with you why I never break my 3-hour rule. What is happening, M0A Nation and M0A Online Ground School members? I hope you are loving this flight planning series. I look forward, by the way, to seeing you all at Sun and Fun as well. It is right here. Some of you may even be watching this video while we're at Sun and Fun. So come on over, say hi, Hangar D, booth 92. Some other announcements before we get into it. Please don't forget, we're down to the wire here for your chance to win an iPad this month. The link is m0acontest.com. We're giving it away on our big live stream on March 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be doing exactly that. I will be flight planning live. We'll look at the weather live. I'll be spontaneous, unscripted. I'll be able to, interact with you as well. So make sure you're watching. That's March 24th. We're in the year 2023, by the way. It's the year 23 Mike Zulu. That's why we're giving away so much great stuff. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You need to be entered beforehand. m0acontest.com to win the iPad. I'll also give away the iPad live there as well. You don't need to be present to win, but it'll make it a lot more fun. So that's two big things here. I want to share with you in this series, many of you know this, especially my online ground school members, I'm really big on teaching what I call my 3-hour rule. And my 3-hour rule says this: from the moment I start the airplane, I say clear prop, and I start the airplane, I start a clock. Now in 23 Mike Zulu, we're awfully spoiled. The Avidyne transponder starts that clock for us. The moment I say clear prop, that clock starts. Clear. Then, from the moment I'm taxiing in to where I'm going to at my destination, the line personnel is bringing me in, they tell me to shut down, that time better not exceed 3 hours. From the moment I start to the moment I shut down will not be greater than 3 hours. That is the 3-hour rule. Now that allows a lot of time for taxi and run up, really taxi on both sides. So realistically, I'm only in a cruise power or a high fuel burn situation for 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours, 40 minutes at the most here. Why do we have that? Well, the book says, the POH says, 23 Mike Zulu can hold 4.5 hours of fuel. I've never tested that theory. I don't want to test that theory. Let the engineers figure that one out. My rule is no greater than 3 hours because fuel is options. I always jokingly say the only time I have too much fuel is when I'm on fire. Other than that, bring the fuel on. I know there's weight and balance limitations and other things there, but fuel is options. When you see us and you follow us on our Oshkosh series, we will be flying to Oshkosh again in 23 Mike Zulu this year. You'll see us, we'll fly, and we'll purposely plan some 2.5-hour legs. Let me tell you something. The 3-hour rule has saved me from making the NTSB reports many of times. I'll never forget one of our first big seminar tours was called the Good Pilot Tour. I was sharing my original JFK Jr. accident analysis, doing it as a live seminar. I was leaving Ann Arbor, Michigan, and trying to make it to Louisville, Kentucky. And I remember the weather, kind of around the Cincinnati area, was just so nasty. I can't remember all the different airports we diverted to, but I do remember the number. It was 8. 8 different diversions, zigzagging back and forth, turn around, trying to get in these different airports, VFR airports, IFR, all over the place. But the storms and the cells that were building around it. I'll never forget around, I don't know, maybe diversion 3, 4, or 5, the controller who's dealing with all these other aircraft that are calling up minimum fuel and trying to get in. I'll never forget the controller said, hey, at that time, it wasn't 23 Mike Zulu yet, it was still 7159 Quebec, if you know the history of the airplane. They said 7159 Quebec, safe fuel. And at the time we had, I don't know, about 2 hours of fuel, maybe an hour, 45 minutes. You could hear the relief in the controller's voice because most people, by their 3rd or 4th diversion, were starting to end up in some issues. You see, that doesn't have to be you. If you plan these shorter hops, listen, our bodies, our bladders in particular, can't make it that long anyways. Stop and make sure you shut down before you tick over to 3 hours. You can find accident after accident that's related to fuel. Look at something, and we've covered this accident in our April accident analysis series a few years ago, United Flight 173. Professional crew ran out of fuel in VFR conditions inside the airport. There are a lot of factors to that, a lot of distractions that happen with that, but still, they landed about 8 miles short of the Portland airport. This is back in the 70s because they ran out of fuel. An airliner. These are the things you need to research and realize, and you should adopt your version of the 3-hour rule. I have a good friend of mine who flies a Bonanza, and the Bonanza holds 5.5 hours of fuel. So he adopts the 4-hour rule. Here's how you want to work the calculations. I want you landing. Taxi, the line personnel's bringing you in to shut you down, and you're getting ready to shut down. You want to have about 1.5 hours in the tanks at that shutdown period. Because if you get there and you have to divert, and it's not just, we think of diversions for bad weather. Look at a situation like Oshkosh or Sun and Fun. Somebody comes in, has a gear up, has a ground loop, has something. Airport's closed, weather's great, but airport is closed. Now you're all fighting to get to the diversion airports. You're gonna be thankful you have that extra fuel in that situation. So find your own 3-hour rule. And if you are going to commit to this, will you leave me a comment down below and say, yes, Jason, I'm flying the 3-hour rule now. Or hey, my airplane's more like the 2.5-hour rule. Or my airplane's the 4-hour rule. Whatever it is, will you just make that declaration in the comments down below and say, yes, Jason, I'm on board. I'm adopting this 3-hour rule, or whatever that time frame is for you. Hey, once again, as we're wrapping up this flight plan series, we're going to do it in a big way with a live flight planning session that is March 24th. That's a Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to win the iPad, we're going to be giving away live there as well. Go to m0acontest.com as well. I can't wait to read your declaration. They're not even comments anymore. They're declarations down below. I look forward to reading those. Have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember, a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you.